Wow. Tommy does such a good job. Thank you, Tommy. I want to tell you some stories tonight. I've been able to travel quite a bit over the years and met some wonderful people. I want to tell you some stories about Memorial Day from the lives of people. First is the tale of three friends. In the span of a year, three guys that lived less than a mile apart all died in battle. One was from a home, his dad had died, and his mom was a widow. One was from a home that had lots of kids. One was from a home with 5 kids. Isn't it amazing? The lives of three families, less than a mile apart, struggling with the same issue of the loss of a son. I've often wondered how I would have reacted had I been the dad that had to go to the second and third funerals, having known all three, but reliving the horrors themselves. Met a man in Meridian, Mississippi. I went to teach a conference on Baptist men way back in the day. I got there early, and he got there early. And I wanted to make sure it was the right church, and I pulled up. He rolled his window down, and he asked me if I wanted to get in the car and wait with him. It was about 45 minutes. And he told me this story. When Pearl Harbor was attacked, he was on a ship in one of the South Pacific Islands. Before word really got to them, the Japanese had captured 3,000 sailors, put them in the hull of a ship, stripped them naked, made them sit with their knees up high, sitting on the floor, and the next guy sitting between their legs. No air conditioning, no nothing, no sanitation. In the weeks to come, they took them all to Japan. And they put him in mines to work. So for the whole war, he worked in the mines. The 3,000 people captured, less than 300 survived the war. His body was broken, his fingers all mangled. But you know what he talked about? Not his hardship, but his comrades who died. Do you think that Memorial Day for him is a day of celebration when he goes to the lake? I doubt it. I bet it was a somber occasion. I'm sure he's passed away now because that was in the 80s and he was well on up in his 80s then. I bet it was a day when he saw his buddies die in his mind every year. The next story is the tale of MB. MB was a bombardier or navigator one on a bomber in Europe in World War II. He lost a lot of friends. Saw his plane on one side or the other, shot down several times. On one occasion, for some unknown reason, they pulled him off his plane, and he was on the plane flying to the right in formation. And the plane with all of his buddies, as he was looking out the window watching them fly, suddenly was hit and exploded, and they all died. Do you think MB celebrated Memorial Day with festivities? No. It's a day of remembrance. I met a man who watched Private Ryan. He landed on the beach. He said he had flashbacks. He said it was the closest thing he had ever seen to having been there. He didn't talk about surviving. He talked about his buddies who died. Another man was on a glider. Didn't land in the right spot. You know, those gliders full of soldiers going in, landed way behind enemy lines. Separated from everybody they knew, part of their crew killed for 4, 5, 6 weeks. Stealing what they could, killing to get a gun. Do you think on Memorial Day that he laughed and hollered and celebrated? No. He thought of his buddies who died on the plane when it landed, the glider. Those who died so he lived in those 5 or 6 weeks. You see, Memorial Day, for me, is not a day to go celebrate. Oh, I imagine during my lifetime at some point I may have gone to a barbecue or a party or something on Memorial Day, but it's a reflective day. My freedom cost. As Tommy was playing taps, I remember what it's like as a pastor to stand in the cemetery of a veteran and hear taps played on a trumpet, hear the gunfire, watch the family flinch, watch the soldiers fold the flag, present it to a widow or a widower, a child, grandchild. Wow. You're free to watch this video, but somebody gave their life for your freedom. So you celebrate in a different way. In Thanksgiving, our freedom was won with a heavy price. Don't ever take it for granted. Bless you.